What do you think of that? What don't you think of that? I think that girl has got everything that she's.
Oh, it fucking well entertains me. And what about the bloke that's like, this is what happens when you throw a cabinet into a basketball ring. Yeah. And then when he comes up with the next thing, I'm like, send.
Like, honestly.
I just like sending it all to you. It cracks me up. Hello, everyone. We are on number 2. We're slightly warmer.
What's that, babe?
Are you not hot? Well, there you go. So shut your face, bitch. So make the most of it. This is all the warmth we're getting all year round.
Oh, it's Helen.
Oh, answer. She wants to know what's going on tonight.
Helen, don't swear. You're live on a podcast.
Hello, Helen. Live from BBC 9.
You're all right.
Hello.
Hello. You're live on the podcast.
Yes.
Let's video you in. No.
No, stay.
No. Did she put down?
Oh! Well, that's embarrassing. We're so immature. Right, should we get into it?
Yeah.
Okay,
Let's go.
back to business.
Hello.
Hey.
And welcome.
Yeah, that's not your bit.
No, all right.
Yeah.
Getting all moody.
Don't steal my bit.
Switch it up.
Do you want to switch it up?
No.
Well. You're such a knob. Hello, everyone, and welcome. Welcome to Middle Age Opinion. I'm your host, Ellie.
And I am Emily, and we are going to be looking at what are we looking at?
Every time. True crime.
True crime, that was the one.
Oh, every time. Every video. It's what are we doing? Why are we here? Where are we?
Remind me again of what's going on.
We want to know if we're getting any. You're Dave.
What's my
We want to. What's my name? What's my
Say my
name? Yeah, but it's obviously Watts because you're saying Watts.
Yeah, but that is not like a whole thingy theory.
A majigamabob.
You know. No, it's not what's your name. It's say my name.
Yeah. So anyway, we're we're not doing obviously we're not delving into the full true crime of each person. These are summaries that we found of, really heinous people. And we thought we'd go a little bit, we've done paranormal before, which you'll see. And now we think, let's go for real
Just
arseholes.
all the shit that's going on in the world.
Yeah.
Really. Let's
And
cover it
those
all.
making it worse for everyone concerned. So I'm going to start today. Better?
Yeah.
Did I start last time?
No.
I did. We did
No,
rock, paper,
it's your
scissors.
turn.
No, it's your turn. It's your turn.
did rock, paper, scissors.
We did, remember? And then I went first because I won, even though you got confused and you were like, no.
I felt like I lost, so therefore I should have gone first. 'Cause
That doesn't
neither
make
of us
any
wanted
sense.
To go first. Or did
Oh,
you
so
want to?
no, in my head I was whoever won went first. And in your head, whoever lost went
Yeah,
first.
because neither of us wanted to go first.
Yeah, I don't know what to tell you. You're first.
All right. I'm actually going to start with this one.
Okay.
Because it's something that's happened in the UK.
Okay.
It looks a little lengthy, but hopefully it reads better than what it is.
Okay.
So, it's on Reddit Unsolved Mysteries.
Right.
And who was the Batman rapist? I think I liked it because it had Batman in it.
Why do I not know about this?
A serial kidnapper and serial rapist committed at least 17 kidnappings and rapes of women and girls between at least 1991 and 2000 in Bath and Somerset,
So,
UK.
a full decade.
Today, he remains uncaught.
Sweet. Something to look forward to.
I know, I want to go Bath as well, and now I'm not sure if I want to. And
That is literally an hour away from Chris and Hayley.
Somerset.
Yeah, so when we go up and get them on the podcast, we pop to Bath.
Oh, sweet.
We're going to have a bath.
Just pop through. Right. The Batman rapist, also known as the Riddler.
Okay, that rings a bell.
The Riddler.
The Riddler rings a bell to me, yeah.
is the UK's second most highly elusive phantom predator who abducted and raped at least 17 women and girls between 1991. She takes the piss.
Okay, just answer it. Yo.
Hey. Can't believe you didn't answer.
I know. Rude.
Like you ran away.
Is she even there?
Helen.
Helen. Oh my God. Okay, where are you?
I am driving to my mum's.
She's going through a tunnel.
Have you just got up?
No, we woke up about 10:30.
What time did you get in?
I think we left about midnight.
Yeah, I knew it was. I knew you'd be wrecked. How are you feeling?
Oh, I got
What?
What time are you thinking tonight?
Helen. Can't hear you. That's where she is.
Okie dokie. Okie dokie.
Yo.
Hey, my reception's obviously shit.
You sound like
Hey.
shit. Hey guys.
Hey.
Do you know what the plan is for tonight?
Well, for God's sake, we're all sorry, we're all going around the bloody roundabout, none of us wanted to go. Well, James is going to get there early, so it doesn't matter what time we get there. It starts at 7.
So as long as we're there between 7 and half 7?
Yeah, I don't even mind it a bit later.
Yeah, I bet. You want to have a snooze, don't you?
So I think Jenna's coming up here for about 5:30. I don't know if you want to come up and we'll all go from here.
Yeah, fine.
Okay,
Yeah.
sweet. So just whenever.
What time are you getting there for, Emily?
Well, once I'm done here, I'm going home and showering and then put my curly tongue in.
The what?
My curly tongue?
Oh, but you're supposed to wear that night before.
Yeah.
Have you got one of those long
The
things?
thing that goes over your head.
Yeah, move on with your life. It's too late.
No, it's not. I'm gonna put it on with wet hair, spray it,
And then
use hairdryer.
and then when she takes it out, there will still be parts that are wet and it's going to drop immediately.
100%.
Right.
Listen, hey, it's gonna hate. I'm still gonna give it a go.
Okay, good. It better turn out right because otherwise I'm going to show everybody.
I literally don't even know how to. Oh, do you want to sit down, didn't you?
Okie dokie.
Fuck's sake. We are losing you.
Okay, just
Helen, I can't hear you.
you're just going to have to,
I will call you when I leave here and
with a time.
I'll give you a time because then I can work out what time shower and all that stuff. We love you.
Love you. Bye, babes.
Right, let's start again.
Yeah, you're going to have to start yours again.
Okie dokie.
Okay, right, go.
Okay, so mine is Reddit's Unsolved Mysteries. Who was the Batman rapist? A serial kidnapper and serial rapist committed at least 17 kidnaps and rapes of women and girls between at least 1991 and 2000 in Bath and Somerset, UK. Today he remains uncaught. So, the story. The Batman rapist, also known as the Riddler, is the UK's second most highly elusive phantom predator who abducted and raped at least 17 women and girls between 1991 and 2000. The case remains unsolved 33 years later. More info below. Luckily. Timeline of the Batman rapes. So, May 21, 1991, a 36-year-old woman was attempting to park her car in Coronation Avenue, Bath, when a mystery man got into the back seat and abducted her at knife point and ordered her to drive to a secluded area where she was assaulted for a couple of hours. October 1991, an 18-year-old girl was abducted by a man as she walked up Batched Hill in Bath. He marched her up a field and subjected her to what investigators described as a serious sexual assault. Investigators thought the May assault was an isolated incident at first, but after the October victim gave a similar description to what the May victim described, investigators began to fear there could be a serial rapist on the loose. The reason investigators on the case believed the rapes were done by the same man was that investigation showed the rapist seemed to be targeting specific women who were wearing tights.
How would he know that if they're in the car?
Yeah, bizarre.
Yeah.
Okay. In a especially creepy fashion, when the 18-year-old victim was found to have not been wearing tights, the rapist forced her to put on a pair on he had brought with him already. Investigators concluded this man had a fetish for women's tights and already had his own on hand. Interestingly, there would be a 3-year gap after this, and they thought the rapist had disappeared. But in November 1994, a 19-year-old girl was abducted and raped on the grounds on the American Museum in Bath. This attack was generally thought to have been an isolated incident again, since the rapist hadn't struck in a number of years at this point. But this would change in 1996. 3 more abductions and rapes occurred in Bath, and that of another 19-year-old girl in Kingwood in 1996. In 1997, 3 more abductions and rapes were reported in Bath. On January the 26th, 1999, the prep attempted to abduct a 39-year-old woman, but as she screamed for help, the rapist fled the scene.
That's a jumping age as well, isn't it?
Yeah. Where he dropped a baseball cap he was wearing that had a Batman logo on it. This is where the Batman rapist moniker came from, and sometimes the alternative moniker of the Riddler. Just 10 minutes after this, the Batman rapist, the Riddler, abducted another in the Bath area, where he forced her at knife point to drive to the village of Monkton Combe off A26, where she was assaulted. In January 2000, the case became a part of a number of unsolved cases reviewed by police in Avon and Somerset. Bath police urge for any unknown victims of the rapist to come forward, and as a result, 6 small women and girls that had been assaulted by the prep came forward and identified themselves. May 12, 2000, the final attack attributed to the Batman rapist occurred when he attempted to abduct a woman by dragging her from a car while her 7-year-old daughter slept in the back seat. But the prep fled the scene when the woman screamed for help again. In 2000, a massive task force to catch the prep was put together called Operation Eagle in an attempt to the rapist's DNA, and his DNA was found at one crime scene. In January 2001, DNA swabs were taken from every name that came up in the investigation. 2,000 men were approached by...
Fucking hell.
I know. Were approached by Avon and Somerset police and were required to swab for DNA. All 2,000 men were tested and not a single one matched up to the DNA sample they had. After this, the case officially went cold as the Batman rapist, the Riddler, never struck again. The case remains open today as Avon and Somerset are still willing to take leads about the prep's identity. In October 2012, retired detective Paul James said, it's really unusually for the rapist to suddenly disappear and never to be heard again. Sorry for the long write-up. I hope it was informative.
So he's either got married and had kids, and like their bedroom sex would be very rapey. Some men do that, don't they, in order to stop themselves with the urge. Like if you watch a documentary and these wives don't know anything about it, but then when the police go in and all that, it turns out that their sex life has been very aggressive. Mm-hmm. Or he's moved, or he's died.
Well, someone thinks that the DNA drag wasn't wide enough.
No, so also, you know, like Ancestry and all that.
Yeah.
They search all of those databases as well for any familiar matches. So they look to see if there's any matches on there, or they were. I don't know what the legal stance is that, because some people were trying to sue because they got caught from that and were pissed off that they got caught because their cousin put in a DNA test. Do you see what I mean? I'm going to say very cool story, but I don't mean cool as in, you know, it's very informative. That's better.
Yeah.
It's quite scary.
I mean, we're 2024, and the last sort of update on that, like with the DNA, was 2001.
Yeah, so
in October 2012, the detective.
I don't think he could have been too old as well to overpower all of those young women. I mean, a knife would have done it. You know, I don't know how I'd react if I had a knife to me. It'd be one or the other, wouldn't it? You'd either scream and fight or you'd submit.
Yeah.
So I can't answer that. I've never, luckily, thank God, touch wood, I've not been in the position to, you know.
Yeah, and that last one, the lady dragged out the car and her daughter was in the car, like,
yeah,
heaven forbid something. I
know. So it tells me that he's either still lurking somewhere, but something's changed.
Yeah, maybe
he had an accident.
Shit him up a bit.
I've seen a story like that before.
If he'd had an accident, he would have to be dead, because when you have an accident, blood transfusions and shit like that. Then they're
yeah, but that's not at the hospital. They don't search the hospital records. That is confidential. Right. So this was 95 days ago. This is just an insight of what happened here, but I did read it all. Funny enough for me. 19-year-old man in northwest Indiana strangles his mother after she serves him eviction notice, February 2024.
Well, you're evicted from your body.
Right, are you ready? On the afternoon of February the 5th. What's the next day?
February 6th?
Yeah. Oh. Whose birthday is February the 6th? Oh, well, good. Yeah, just checking. It was we 1040. It was a significant year. Anyway, for me, on the afternoon of February the 5th, 2024, 19-year-old Connor Cobold was arrested for attempted murder and a grievous battery for strangling his mother, Shelby Burns, in her bed. After strangling her, causing substantial brain damage, he went outside and called the police several times, telling dispatch to send a car. I'm going to say this wrong, but forgive me. The Valparaiso Police Department responded to the call. Cobold told police as soon as they arrived to handcuff him and put him in the back of the squad car. While he was in the vehicle, he told the officer that there was a dead person in the house on the corner, further saying, "I killed somebody in that house." Upon entering the house the Cobold and his mother lived in, police found Shelby, if I hope I'm saying that wrong. No, Shelly. I'm saying it wrong. What's her name? I want to make sure I say her name right. Chanel. Oh my God. Chanel, I'm so sorry. Chanel in her bed, not breathing and with no pulse. Police noticed signs of the struggle in the room. She was rushed to the hospital where doctors determined her injuries put her in grave danger. Chanel unfortunately died 2 days later on February the 7th. An autopsy revealed that the cause of death was by asphyxiation, secondary to strangulation, and ruled as a homicide. Chanel had Cobold Chanel had served Cobold with an eviction notice that day, February the 5th. Cobold's charges were upgraded from murder after the autopsy results. It is his mugshot you see, the scratches on his face. He has pled guilty and a pre-trial conference scheduled for July the 8th and jury set for August the 6th. ETA. I work within the legal spectrum, not in criminal law, so I might be able to keep up with this case. Just another nutter.
It sounds really dramatic.
Yeah. You got to move out. Okay, you're dead. I suppose he's got
Well, at least he's got somewhere to go now.
just about to say for the rest of his life. Don't worry, you ain't got to pay rent no more. Yeah.
Really,
His poor fucking mum.
really dramatic.
I'm assuming he wasn't working or anything, and she was like, enough's enough, you got to move out. So I want to see if I can open the picture of him. I'm not obviously going to go into reading all the other stuff. These are just, like I say, snapshots.
Yeah, I'd want him out and all.
So there's scratches all either side of his cheeks, and that was her trying to save herself. So that was my story. Yeah. I mean, honestly.
I mean, I know one of my eldest is like, I'm never going to move out. I'm like, yeah, but you will go get a job if you're going to live with me.
Right. Exactly. You can stay until you die. I don't care, but you will be working.
God.
But I wonder what else he's done, because
That's a real dramatic.
yeah,
thing.
that is like, they say crimes of passion. That's kind of like a crime of passion in the sense that he killed his mum because.
But then he called the police.
Yeah, he called the police because he was like, sweet, he was going to get caught. So he called the police and he was like, sweet, now I don't have to pay rent anywhere. That'll show you, mum.
Yeah. I mean,
yeah, 3 meals a day, mum. And the occasional bumming. You deserve it. That was that.
Right, well.
May she rest in peace.
Sad times.
I know.
Sad times. Right, okay, fine.
Okay.
So, mine is on Reddit True Crime. And it is an innocent teen, mysterious bite mark on a dead woman, and 2 alleged serial killers. Finally discovered 40 years later.
40 years.
The Robert Dubois story.
I feel like I know that as well.
Well, sit down.
But I am sitting down.
There are pictures on this, and I will attempt to process them into it.
Yeah, just the clippings.
Right, so in Tampa's Summer of Hell, the police arrest a teen for murder. 40 years later, DNA clears him and pointed to possible serial killers, a rare duo of them, who were only 20 years old themselves. Tampa in 1983 was described by one cop as a summer of hell. A series of vicious slayings, all women, dumped in conspicuous places around town with no immediate suspects, stood out. Even among all the other murder and crimes those months brought to the region. So then there's like a picture of a newspaper. It says, only link among 7 Hillsborough women is death, police say. Imagine the only link is that they're all dead. That's
Do
it.
you also know that white, it's Caucasian, isn't it? White Caucasian men are still winning in the serial killer category.
It's really sad.
It's really sad.
Yeah. Police told newspaper reporters over and over there was absolutely no connection between the crimes. In a few cases that proved true, as they made arrests by several but several remained cold cases for decades, such as the freelance photographer Linda Lanson, who disappeared the day after photographing the Bunny of the Year contest at the local Playboy Club. I can't read that properly, but it says Barbara Grams, 19, was considering going out with friends the night she was killed. Her horoscope, which she always read, said she might have fun.
Oh my God.
You might have fun. Or
I feel like let's not include that, but okay.
It's a really random thing to put.
What a weird thing to put.
Also, amongst the 8 victims, it was 19-year-old male worker named Barbara Grams, who I just referenced, found behind a dentist's office near a popular teen hangout called Hutto's Corner Grocery, with a mysterious so-called bite mark on her cheek. On her cheek? That's on her cheek.
Yeah, they're sick.
Wow. She's been walking home from the mall, carrying her work clothes in a county seat shopping bag. There were no eyewitnesses, and as police struggled to find leads, a gas station clerk gave officers the description of a neighbourhood troublemaker named Robert Du Bois.
If you can put these teeth in, do, because they look like vampire teeth.
I know. I'm going to try my best.
Okay, darling.
After a sensational trial, he was sent to death row for Graham's murder. Screaming that he was innocent, he maintained that claim of innocence for decades. So then there's a picture. A model of Robert Du Bois's teeth is compared against the image of the bite mark on Barbara's skin. There we are. And then
I shouldn't have said that they're innocent teeth.
they're innocent teeth.
Yeah. Just because you look like a vampire doesn't mean you are.
We are not discriminating.
No.
Actually.
Although your teeth are vampire-like.
Nearly 40 years later, someone finally agreed to help him. A new conviction review unit at the local state attorney's office. All the evidence had supposedly been destroyed, but a shocking discovery turned up: DNA. The DNA not only finally freed him, but pointed to a pair of alleged serial killers who prospectors now say murdered other victims besides Grams during that dark summer, but the crimes had never been connected until now. So that's him now.
Yeah. His whole life gone.
Gone after 37 years. Oh my God. Despite the DNA, the way the modern science has invalidated other evidence from Du Bois's trial and the recantation of the jailhouse witness, who now says flat out, "I lied," there are still people in powerful positions who seem to refuse to let go of Du Bois's guilt even now. Meanwhile, Du Bois has fought for compensation for the youth he lost behind bars.
Right.
The state at first told him he was owed nothing, even though it normally pays ex honorees $50,000 for every year they spend in prison.
And so they should.
50,000 for every year.
Good.
That's 37 years.
Exactly, 37 years. I mean, he went to prison with hair. You know what I'm saying?
Du Bois was owed. Oh yeah, just read that.
Yeah.
Sorry. Du Bois has stolen tools and what's that say? Siphoned gas as a team, which means he was in. What's that word say?
Inintelligible under
Florida's Clean Hands Law.
So he wasn't clean.
So they're basically trying to say because he stole something.
Yeah, like every child in the whole entire world.
Oh, because you.
I stole a chump once as a child.
You stole a tool.
Yeah.
Therefore, those murders that you've just had 37
You
years
deserved it. Yeah, 100%.
And beyond that, Du Bois, now almost 60, has returned to a hometown that he no longer recognises, where he tries to figure out how to spend the rest of his life and ponders whether his old dreams have to die. The two men now charged with the murder of Barbara Grams have been charged in another cold case murder for That Summer of Hell. The photographer Linda Lanson and are persons of interest in other murders from that era. The state attorney said that they were on a sinister spree of serial rape and murder. One confessed to Grams and has agreed to testify against his old friend who is awaiting trial. So they found the people, two guys.
They owe him the money. There's nothing else. There's nothing left to talk about. Because he did some silly shit as a kid doesn't mean that he doesn't get his money. What is he meant to do? He's 60 years old. What do they think he's going to do?
Yeah, 37 years in prison.
I'm sorry.
On death row.
Yeah.
It wouldn't have even been just like a normal prison.
Yeah.
He was on death row. He would have been isolated.
Yeah. Treated like shit for 37 years and he didn't do anything. I'm assuming the woman he's cuddling is his mum.
Yeah, that picture shows Robert hugs his mother after being released from prison after 37 years.
Yeah, it's devastating. The whole thing is so upsetting.
I mean, I'm not being funny. The way he looks in this image, they could be married. Like, they could be together.
That's what I'm saying. He looks... But you would though in prison. It's not a lot of sunlight. I don't even... Where is this? Does it say? No. Mine doesn't say either.
Tampers? I don't know where Tampers is.
I feel like it's America.
Always.
That's just a guess though. Yeah. Florida, yeah. So America. That's it. He's like his whole life, and I bet it wasn't nice.
A fun state as well. So sad.
Maybe we get to go one day. Right. We ready?
Yeah.
In 2015, in 2015, Heather, I almost did it again. Heather shot and killed a man who tried to rape her after she managed to grab his gun away from him. When police arrived to investigate the shooting, they found an anonymous kill kit in the deceased man's car. They would later credit Heather with stopping an active serial killer. I know. In 2015, prostitute. It's because I didn't see that coming. But when I read escort, I was like, no, girl, you said that wrong. Right, so prostitute, escort. I feel like it's not PG to call them prostitute anymore.
No, there's a difference between a prostitute and an escort, apparently.
Well, she's both here. Oh, so I'm just going to call her an escort.
Yeah, just depends on the client.
Listen, she killed a serial killer, so I'm all for her. In 2000, yeah, she does whatever she wants to do. Women's world, mate. In 2015, a escort, I don't care, escort named Heather met with a man named Neil Falls. They spoke online before, but this was the first time that they had met in real life. However, Neil attacked Heather almost immediately after entering her home. Why would she let him in her home?
Because she's an escort.
Okay, it's unclear. It's,
Oh, yeah.
It was. I went, oh yeah, okay. It's unclear if he was invited in or if he broke in. Oh, there you go. Either way, Heather ended up in a fight for her life. Neil grabbed her neck and squeezed it hard, telling her that he'd kill her if she didn't do as she was told. With his one hand, he pointed his gun at her. Heather managed to slip away momentarily, and a fight ensued. Ensued? Yeah, that's right, isn't it? As Heather fought with Neil, she realised that he wasn't going to shoot her. He actually wanted to keep her alive, at least in the short term. Once Heather realised that Neil wouldn't shoot her, she was able to fight back more effectively. She grabbed a small rack from her kitchen. She grabbed a small rack from her kitchen, the kind used to clean up dog poo. It's a rink then. Yeah. Heather swung the rake at Neil. This turned out to be the best thing she could have done because Neil set down the gun so that he could use both hands to grab the rake away from her. As soon as she saw that, Heather let the rake get pulled away from her and dove for the gun instantly. She immediately shot Neil in the head, and that is the way you do it. When I watch a horror movie or something like that, I'm like, bitch, go for the head. Always the head.
They don't though.
They
shoot them in the foot.
At least 4 in the head, just to make sure. Don't walk away where you think they're knocked out. No, 4. Let's be clear. People have survived gunshots to the head. 4 is enough. 4 is enough, people. 4. Anyway, a few minutes. Last thing, I'm completely lost where I am.
4.
Yeah, that's what I'm looking for. She immediately shot him in the head as soon as it was in her hands. The whole encounter, from the time Neil entered the house to the time he was shot, lasted less than a few minutes.
That was real good aiming as well.
Yeah, straight in the head. Many people in the town would later call her Heather the Hero. Oh, she lost her prosy name. Heather the Hero from her actions that night. But Heather didn't feel like a hero. She felt sick. She never wanted to kill anybody. I mean, I get that. No, yeah, you know, even in those circumstances, taking someone's life is not okay. She never asked for this. When people showed up, she was sobbing hysterically. She was also injured. She had a broken back and dislocated shoulder. Oh my God, from her fight with Neil. This was by far the most traumatic experience of Heather's entire life. She cried profusely throughout her interview with the detectives. When a police officer searched Neil's deceased body, he found 4 pairs of handcuffs right away that were seen as a red flag. Do you need to be a detective to work out this man's tried to kill her? Yeah. Yeah. Like a burgundy, or are we talking fire engine red? Yeah. Yeah. A search of Neil's Falls car revealed an enormous kill kit. In Neil Falls' vehicle, police found an axe, a shovel, a sledgehammer, Bowie knives, bleach, cleaning supplies, handcuffs, duct tape, guns, and a bulletproof vest.
We forgot that.
He put this in a bag, but it wouldn't have done any good, would it? Yeah. I mean, he was all in.
Flag.
He was all in.
Definitely.
Yeah, all in. What, are we getting nearer to fire engine red now?
Well, it was a big red flag.
Oh, so it was full fire engine red.
Well, yeah.
Okay.
He had bulletproof vest.
Yeah. It's likely that Mr. Falls is a serial killer, said...
Likely.
Likely. Just a tad.
I
Like
get
this
Heathcliff.
much, yeah, me too.
I think
Yeah.
my psychic powers say...
Said Stephen Cooper, Cheslin's Police Department Chief of
You can
Detectives.
tell why he's chief.
Ain't it? He comes up with all the bright ideas. I believe she saved lives by shooting Mr. Falls based on what he did to her, and based on the items found in the car. It would entirely be confirmed that Neil Falls had kidnapped, tortured, and killed at least several other women before he met Heather.
He didn't see her coming, did he? Really?
No.
Wow.
And then someone said she had a broken back and dislocated shoulder, yet she managed to fight back and kill him.
Yeah, tell you what, when that adrenaline is
Fight or flight.
You feel fucking nothing.
Yeah, you don't feel any pain. It's not till after, is it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, even when we used to Tough Mudder, we weren't in fight and flight.
No.
We didn't know we had those bruises
No.
until the next day.
And then the next day, even in the bath that day, I was like, oh, help me.
Sending pictures
Help
of my
me.
legs. Look at this one.
Turn on the hot, babe. Turn on the hot. No, it's got to be hotter. I know. My biggest one was like the whole area was completely black.
Mine was on the inside of my leg.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know what I was grappling on, and then men.
So yeah, another toss pot, but he's dead now, so he's in hell right now.
Shame.
And we're going to finish with this one.
All right.
Okay, darling.
Yes, we're on true crime still. Marcus Wesson, a man condemned by California for...
Is that my dog or your dog? Cookie, come here, Papa. Come on, last one. Go on. Go.
You guys are reading for so long.
Go. Okay.
Marcus Wesson, a man condemned by California for
Orchestrating
the murder of 9 of his children.
Yeah, so special place in hell for this cunt.
Yeah. So there is an image, which is him as a younger man with his daughters.
Yeah.
Yep. So Wesson founded and controlled a personal pseudo-Christian sect that heavenly... Oh my God.
So the word you're looking for is cult.
Diverged in theology from most of mainstream Christianity.
It's cult. It's a cult.
It's a little bit cult.
Yeah.
It's American. I'm really sorry, guys.
Yeah. It's a cult, though.
Stereotype.
Yeah. It's a cult.
Namely, that he believed that Jesus Christ was a vampire. Sorry.
It's a cult, bruv.
And that he was God himself.
Of course he was.
The entirety of his congregation composed of his family members, especially his bio-daughters, stepdaughters, and nieces. So it's just all women, basically.
Yeah, of course, it's easier to control.
Of course. Most of the doctrine Wesson taught in his homemade church revolved around grooming the daughters, stepdaughters, and nieces into intercourse with him, and he fathered several children with them.
Yes, I said.
It's wrong. It's just wrong.
Yeah.
Something that also should be noted is that Wesson was captivated by David Koresh and the Waco incident of 1993.
Keep reading, I'll find him.
More specifically, he found common ground with Koresh's polygamous practices and decided that they both were on a divine duty to spread their seeds.
Right. David Kolsch was an American cult leader who played a central role in the Waco saga of 1993 at the head of the Breach Davids of religion.
What's he look like?
A twat. So just another. He's another cult leader. They all look the same. They're all white men.
This is not.
Okay, this is not.
This is not.
Yeah. First one.
Okay. And then there's a picture of some of Weston's daughters and nieces. After the daughters, he conceived with the nieces, daughters, and stepdaughters grew of an age to his liking, usually about 7 or 8. They would be sexually abused and used to birth other children, and the pattern rinsed and repeated on a frequent basis for several years. As such,
paedophile.
As such, some of the children in his fold were his daughters, granddaughters, and grandnieces all in one. Oh God. Weston also forbid the girls from interacting with their brothers, male cousins, and mothers. His male and female children were both treated as servants and were forced to clean his dreadlocks and scratch his armpits and head. I literally got that sick feeling in my throat.
Yeah, it's disgusting.
When they become adults, he cannibalized their wages.
Stole their wages.
But he let them go to work then?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Some do. That's how they make the money, but they have to give it all to the... Yeah.
He kept his family in line with physical violence, any acts of insubordination from his children and their mothers was punished with beatings with baseball bats and other blunt objects. In one reported incident, Weston choked his primary legal wife, who was previously his stepdaughter from another girlfriend, and he married her when she was 14 years old.
Why not?
For declaring her intent with leaving him with their children. His surviving family members also described him as being extremely positive. One of his nieces disclosed to a reporter that she was brutalized by him for expressing interest in a boy her age. Weston was essentially homeless and lived entirely off of welfare fraud and leeching on his adult children's salaries. Although he managed to pay for fast food for himself, entirely off of welfare fraud and leeching on his adult children's salaries. Although he managed to pay for fast food for himself, his children were made to rummage from trash cans for their meals. Due to financial instability, he and his family squatted in scattered boats, vacant houses, and abandoned buses. The situation...
So they were squatters?
I just can't work out how such a large amount of people, a majority of them children, and this has gone on for years. How the fuck? What?
It depends where...
Why has no one picked these kids up?
It depends where you are. A lot of it isn't picked up for ages. What about that, that case of the woman that lived in, I think it was Texas, the mum and dad, they had all these kids ranging from 30 to young, and they had them chained up and all sorts. The neighbours didn't even know there were kids in the house, babe.
The situation simmered past the boiling point in 2004 when a few of his nieces that escaped and several other estranged family members turned to the courts to claim the children away from him. During a standoff with police, Wesson caused one of his older daughter wives, 25-year-old Sabrina, into shooting 8 of the other children and herself. Oh, wow.
Oh.
The second eldest victim was another daughter wife, 17-year-old Elizabeth, and the youngest were 2 one-year-old daughters and a 1-year-old son. Although Wesson tried to proclaim innocence by citing the lack of gunpowder residue on his hands, testimony of forcing suicide pacts from surviving family members damned him. So that's him in trial.
Yeah, good.
A year after the massacre, Wesson was sentenced to death by California for each of the 9 murders and was also convicted of several counts of sexual assault. As of 2023, he still theoretically retains a death sentence despite the state's current moratorium, I can't say the word, on capital punishment. So
yeah,
it doesn't exist anymore, but he is still
on it.
And there's a few sources
Yeah.
towards him.
Well, I'm glad. I hope he burns in hell for all that he's done. What a sick piece of shit.
Yeah, that's nuts, isn't it?
Oh, he's just a sick piece of shit. I mean, he's clearly a paedophile, and he got away with it by segregating these women. And you know what? Listen, I know these women went through a lot, and I'm not passing blame onto the victims, because obviously the one that tried to leave did get killed, so they were scared for their lives, but I don't know.
It's scary, isn't it?
Yeah. It's scary that some men hold this power, and, you know, it's really easy to die as a human, so your mortality, but I don't know what's worse, living like that or dying. I mean...
But some of them wouldn't have known any different.
And he took all the kids' money.
Parents.
He separated the men and the women so he could rape them all, because that's what it is. Yeah, he's a piece of shit, and I hope that they bring it back just for him.
Burn this motherfucker with fire.
Is that some of the comments, or... Yeah.
Someone said his eyes, there's something not human about them.
A lot of people said that. I'd like, you know, when you watch about narcissists and all that, it's like there's no...
Y'all forgot to mention he thought they were vampires.
Oh.
I really did. My fave long car ride binge podcast did an episode on this story with an emphasis on some of the vampirism and ritual weirdness. So this is a lot deeper than just that.
Yeah.
And my jaw was in the basement. I was stunned. Some people really need to never breed.
Literally. But he bred so he could rape. That's why he bred.
He believed he was God.
Yeah. A lot of men think they're God babes. Not very often a woman goes, I'm God. But I know. I mean, that's what I'm saying about the look in someone's eyes. There is nothing behind, like, there's no, like, soul. It's, like, dead inside. Right, so on that horrific note, my darlings. Yeah. Thank you for joining us, and we will see you next time. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye, baby.
Oh, my arse.
What do you think of that? What don't you think of that? I think that girl has got everything.